Alan, are you ready to rock? Hello, Cleveland!
Dude, I am ready to roll, man. I got freaking some metal going on in my brain, bro. I'm ready to roll,
I'm
man.
ready to... Let's do this! Let's roll, man!
Let's do this.
They said
Let's
you
go,
were...
Lane.
They said you were finished, Alan!
They said you were done.
What are you prepared to do?
Arch this motherfucker.
Boom! Well, guys, what's going on? We are back with the legendary Alan Aragon. He has agreed to do another interview giving the smackdown when it comes to nutrition. Alan is a nutritionist. He's a nutritionalist also, in fact. He is the son of Aragon, grandson of Arathorn, of the Dunedain, heir to the kingdom of Gondor, okay? The light of the Cimarros shines in your eyes, my friend. I see that sparkle. We are in rarefied air. Brother, it's an absolute pleasure. What do you want to talk about today? Because it is your avenue right now, your venue to talk about whatever you want. Oh, I see. Are you drinking, bro? Are you drinking Bulletproof coffee there? I see in that mug. Is that Bulletproof coffee? I heard good things about it. It's full. It's full of it doesn't have those microbacteria things, right? That are bad for your body.
Right. Yeah, there's this huge mycotoxin problem in the
Okay.
developed world.
Oh,
You know,
really?
we got this tremendous mycotoxin problem. I'm really actually only making it up,
Okay.
but in order to sell special coffee for double the price, I need to make up a problem that doesn't fucking exist.
Biohacking.com. I feel a mental malaise going on in my life, Alan.
I'm hacking my biology.
Alan is just laying the smack down. He is the expert killer. For those that don't know, he is the man when it comes to nutrition. Able to eloquently explain advanced topics, use big words that confound me, at least, but able to sandwich it in a way that even someone like myself can understand it. So we made two videos about 2 weeks ago, Alan. They set the world on fire. 75,000 views, 3,500 likes. I mean, the New York Times, I think the headline said what? Alan Aragon saves the grapefruit industry again. Something like that, right? Again, for the third time.
Great for papes, baby.
Great for papes. So, before people are like, yo, it's been 2 minutes and you guys are just talking, we're going to dive in and find the monkey and see what we got with the end. An important topic today, if it fits your macros, or also known as if it fits your macaronis, or if it fits your mouth. It is a very popular topic these days. It seems everybody has their own definition. People are selling programs on Instagram where they'll, automatically give you your macros. They're telling you how many Pop-Tarts you can eat. It's now been around for a couple years, but you, Alan, you're special. Yes, you, because you were there at the start. You started this gangster shit. You saw it in the forums, the origin of it at bodybuilding.com. Can you elaborate how this, if it fits your macros, I can eat Pop-Tarts all day, every day, bro? How did it come to be? What's the origin, man?
Yeah, well, it's pretty epic because we've got our nice little screen caps that we're going to be putting up. So I took the pivotal screen caps. So the first one being a 2009 post from a member of bodybuilding.com named Eric Stevens. That's actually his wrestling name, his pro wrestling name. So his real name is Eric Konerreich. I'm probably mispronouncing that epic German name or something like that.
St. Konerreich!
So this first screen cap is an example of him getting frustrated at the incessant noob questions asking, can I have peanut butter on a cut? Can I have cheese on a cut? Can I have bananas on a cut? Can I have white potatoes on a cut? I mean, literally, these questions would come by the dozen on the nutrition forum of bodybuilding.com. So he started by saying, well, if it fits in your macro targets, yeah, go for it. Or that was the general thing, fit it in your macros, and you can have bananas on a cut.
Right.
It might not be part of the 6 foods that work or whatever, but yeah, you can have peanut butter on a cut if you fit it into your fat target.
Right.
So that was the vibe. So this next screenshot is from 2010. We're still telling noobs it's okay to have cheese on a cut. It's okay to have your peanut butter on a cut. Just fit it in your macros. If it fits in your macros, go ahead and have that peanut butter while you're cutting. So the next one is from 2011. I mean, on the daily, we're telling noobs, Yes, you can have almonds if it fits your macros. Yes, you can have white rice if it fits your
Yeah.
macros. And so what Eric did was he just made this, this little graphic in your face, bam, bold letters to just kind of get the point across. Yeah, you can have your white rice fit it in your macros. So,
And Alan, I was just gonna interject quickly for those that aren't aware about bodybuilding.com. What you guys have to understand is where it became this acronym. Every single YOLO, like a 16-year-old, correct me if I'm wrong, Alan, would be spamming kind of the forum, asking those following questions like, "Can I have cheese? Can I have grapes? Can I have this?" And maybe people in the current paradigm of what is coined the if it fits your macros diet or what we know now thinks it's silly, but back in the day, people were losing their shit where they didn't know what foods they ate. They thought they had to eat 6 foods. They thought that tilapia thinned the skin. You got to put that MCT oil, the coconut oil, okay, that's going to cause major fat loss. It was a different paradigm in some ways. Get your bulletproof coffee.
oh God, bullshit prone coffee.
.com.
So yeah, dude, it's like you got these young YOLOs.
YOLO's way.
From your first video, dude. That's like the most memorable thing of the whole video. You got these young YOLOs.
Yeah, young YOLOs.
So yeah, they would go almost down like the list of fruits. Can I have apples while cutting? Can I have pears while cutting? Fit it in your macros. You can have apples while you're cutting. So it got really frustrating to the point where just make it an acronym. IIFYM. That's how you answered it. I answered the multiple posts, and it did get the concept of IIFYM did get kind of twisted, and I have my own hypothesis on why this sort of happened. Well, first of all, what actually happened was people took the concept of if it fits your macros and interpreted it as being if it fits your macros, eat whatever the hell you want.
Right,
So
which is not what it was.
Whatever the hell you want part was never the intention of the idea of if it fits your macros. The whole idea of if it fits your macros was just telling people you need to be aware of your total calories and the macros that comprise your total calorie target. That is the foundation of what is going to that's going to determine your food choices. It's going to determine how your diet is composed, and of course all of this dovetails into, well, what's the goal. So yeah, people automatically think in black and white extremes. People have a hard time thinking in terms of moderation and shades of gray. They think, okay, either you're eating the 6 foods that work, or you're eating Skittles and Pop-Tarts for your carb sources. So I mean, really, there is a middle ground there, and there is a little thing called moderation. Beyond that, IIFYM was never meant to become the name of a fad diet.
Right,
which is really
what it's become now.
It's really what it has become. And I know that Eric just sort of, he's probably laughing if he watches this, because he knows that he started a monster without even realizing what it was going to turn into. And all we were telling people to do, just be aware of your macro targets, and then you can have the foods of your preference. We weren't saying you can have all the damn junk foods in the world of your preference. But yeah, if you like apples better than pears, fit it in your macros.
And maybe, Alan, that's a prime thing to restate, though, is the idea that sometimes people hear what they want to hear. Where the original concept got twisted, it became maybe eat whatever the hell you want. And why that happened is sometimes people think in black and white. When we talk about if it fits your macros, really it's kind of rooted in a rebellion against clean eating, and kind of as an antithesis towards the 6 foods. Like, you only must eat these 6 foods: tilapia, thins the skin, coconut oil. You got these crazy YOLOs they're going to adhere to. Like, you tell them to eat 15 pounds of potatoes, some motherfucker's going to eat it and he's going to end up dead. So there's either which way where people want to follow specific guidelines. So we had the clean eating, and we'll get into the concept of what even the clean food means and maybe why there's some inconsistencies. But it developed as an antithesis to that. What happened then after that? How did it grow into this monster? It really started as a harmless, useful piece of advice, became quickly kind of eat whatever you want as long as it fits into your macros. what happened after that? Let's talk about the clean. Let's talk about maybe what it was trying to oppose, the clean foods. Like what are clean foods? You wash them, they're
Yeah,
clean.
foods.
Bleach.
Well, IIFYM, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, bleach is super clean, man.
Yeah.
You get cleaned out real good by
Just
drinking
drink
bleach.
it, bro.
Yeah, don't try this at home, you young YOLOs.
Disclaimer.
Um, so yeah, the IIFYM thing. It was a rebellion against the idea of clean eating, and an archetypical example of clean eating is chicken breast, skinless chicken breast, brown rice and broccoli 6 times a day in
How did
six
you know?
Tupperwares, six,
Oh,
six Tupperware things. You
I'm
know.
part of the Tupperware brigade, bro.
Oh yeah, do you have one of those bags that
Oh,
have the?
the big aspect. Sorry, bro. I can't go out to eat. I would love to chill with you guys. I got my Tupperware. Alan, no shit. And that's what I see, guys. These days we have way more resources. 5 years, like 5 years ago, straight up, you're a bodybuilder. You want to build some muscle. You go out maybe to like a club or whatnot. You're like, shit, Alan. It's been 3 hours. I gotta go grab some chicken, like a chicken salad. Otherwise, I'm
Yep,
gonna lose all my gains.
that's right.
And then
That's
nobody's
right.
gonna love me.
Just eat it in your car.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna realize how existential my existence is, and I'm gonna feel that mortal coil, kind of around me. I'm
Yep,
gonna question
yep.
what's going on.
And you know what? And if you have tuna breath, man, you're hardcore.
You're
You
not,
go
you're
back,
not
go back in the club with tuna breath, man. You know.
slaying those 2 out of 10s. But I'm sorry, Alan. You're 2.5s at best. So you're saying about if it fits your macros, it got blown out of proportion.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So it was a rebellion against the clean eating thing, where people had this idea that certain foods are clean and will get you to your physique goals, and certain foods are dirty and they'll only inhibit you from reaching those goals.
So what's
And
a clean
so,
food, Alan? From what they say.
yeah, it's like this. Like clean foods, people have their own definitions of it. And at the core of it all, okay, at the core, you can't judge a food as being clean or dirty, good or bad, in isolation from the rest of the diet. You have to look at the food within the context of the diet. So that is a huge concept that a lot of people miss. And I'll give an example of how the whole clean foods versus dirty foods thing can be deceiving, and it can kind of fail if you have this idea that certain foods are clean, certain foods are dirty. But before I get into that, little trivia that I always get amused by is that the original clean food is hydrogenated vegetable oil.
Oh, margarine, right?
Yeah, you can get there's various food products that generate trans fats through the hydrogenation process and whatnot. But yeah, hydrogenated vegetable oil was originally developed for the purpose of making soap. So yeah, I always make a joke about hydrogenated vegetable oil being the original clean food because they developed it to make soap originally.
I see. Okay.
That's true nerd humor trivia for
The three
you.
people that are laughing right now are loving you, Alan.
They're loving it. They're loving it. That's right. So yeah, clean foods, man. Crisco. So yeah, back to the whole idea of it being erroneous to judge a singular food as clean or dirty. You have to look at things within the context of the rest of the diet. That's why you can't judge foods in isolation. So that's kind of the idea there. Now, another thing about clean foods is people say, yeah, anything that's processed, that's clean.
My paleo protein powder is not processed, Alan, so it's all natural, so it's good to go.
Yeah, paleo. They got paleo meal replacements. They got paleo. I've seen paleo diet pills, dude. Have you seen that?
It was around 10,000 years ago. You didn't know this? Cavemen, they were smart.
You saw cave paintings of like shaker bottles and pills and whatnot.
The anabolic window. They were just talking about it. But hold up, Alan, wait a second here. You're saying you gotta look at the totality of your diet, really, not one particular food item. But bro, if I eat too much ice cream, I'm gonna get fat. So science me that.
You'll get huge, man. You'll get huge. You'll just tell people you're bulking and tell people it's water weight, player.
Forever bulking. And then just give a bullshit bench number to back it up. I'm bulking and I bench 350, so it's all good. It's all good that I can't see my dick.
That's right, man. All that matters is taking up space and filling out sleeves.
Yeah, exactly. Last small boy. So you're saying you gotta look at the totality of the picture, and people erroneously will tend to look at one item, and then they'll try and label foods. If it's processed, it's bad. You're saying.
Right, right. And here's the irony, especially in the fitness communities, you know, people will say, "Oh yeah, I don't eat that food, it's too processed." And then they'll whip out
Protein bars.
their protein bars, or they'll whip out their pre-workout, which is like a proprietary blend of pink alien piss.
Yeah.
And it's like
Big alien piss from space.
that's not processed.
Alan,
Right?
you should come up with a pre-workout called Pink Alien Piss and just market it as such.
You know what
Guaranteed to make you vomit.
you know what that would be, right?
What?
Sickening.
Sickening.
Yes.
Can't even take it. It's too sickening.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't risk doing that, man. Too much success, too fast.
Yeah, it goes to your head then, and you just blow up.
No, yeah.
You're already having that problem right now.
I'm already halfway to being Mike Chang as it is.
Well, you got a six-pack because you're Asian, or you mean the level of success? What are we talking?
Pretty much all of that, man. I flex for them all too.
Flex for free. Can we get it? Oh, there we go. Tell me, Alan, then about this processed food. So people will say, hey, man, you know, I don't eat processed food. Meanwhile, they bust out their protein bar, their pre-workout. That is the most processed, is proprietary blend. So there's a lot of inconsistencies there.
That's another thing. I mean, the definition of clean foods. Yeah, dude. The definition of clean foods is like it is a highly subjective thing, and it has changed throughout the eras and actually throughout the decades. Like, for example, through the 80s, there was the fat-free food boom, fat-free products. So anything that was fat-free was clean at that time.
Right.
You know, there was also a time when saturated fat and cholesterol was considered bad or dirty. So, you know, foods that were high in saturated fat, cholesterol, dirty, foods that were just mixed of the fat and the cholesterol and whatnots, considered clean. And so that doesn't stand really the test of scientific evidence. I would encourage people to just stay away from those terms, just because they're misleading.
And people want, by and large, rather than thinking for themselves, perhaps becoming more educated, understanding there's gray areas, it's not black and white. People want to think in that either or, right? I can eat this food, I can't eat this food. They want specific amounts.
Right.
You basically explain how, if it fits your macros, if it fits your macaronis, blew up from being just a general piece of advice.
If it fits your crack hose.
If it fits your crack hose, it's good to go. If it fits your bung hole. How can Alan, how can we combine this though now that we know that you don't have to be a dumb fuck and eat 6 clean foods. At the same time, you can't YOLO Pop-Tart into the sunset and have 30 Pop-Tarts and expect a day and expect to get all kinds of gains. What is this middle ground? What do you recommend? You train people, you give nutrition plans. Where is the answer? Lies somewhere in between? What are we talking about here?
This is how I've done it, and this is what I've seen work well in practice, and it's something that also reflects what the major health organizations recommend as well. 10 to 20% of your total calories can pretty much come from whatever you want. You know, whether it's added sugars, freaking added anything, just junk, crap. You know, this obviously would leave 80 to 90% of your diet being from whole and or minimally refined foods.
Right.
And there's a lot of gray areas with you know, whole and or minimally refined. Yeah, there's gray areas there. I wouldn't sweat I wouldn't split hairs over that. I mean, it can be kind of obvious what foods are flat out junk and what foods are whole or just minimally processed, minimally refined.
Okay.
I wanted to talk about the Toronto gig.
You're coming to Toronto.
Link in the description box, man. The whole thing. I have an elaborate blog post with every little dirty detail you need to know about how to get a ticket and how to get your butt down there. And dude, it's just I'm just stoked about it.
I'm super excited to learn about. You're going to be getting into all sorts of details.
I deliver it with keeping in mind that there are going to be lay people in the audience as well. Yeah. And so I'm not talking over everybody's heads the whole time while I'm going to deliver the theoretical part in the first half and then the practical part in the second half. Talk about client case studies and really get into the macros, really get into some of the micros, and get into the integration of training and nutrition and supplementation in a science and in a scientific evidence-based manner, not a bullshitty, imaginative, flying by the seat of my pants type of manner. I'm not down with that crap.
I'm gonna meet you, one of my fitness heroes, the nutrition hero certainly. I've been reading you for 6 years. What people don't know though is that there's not just unlimited tickets. So if you want to grab one, there's a pre-sale bonus if you get it early to come down. You save money.
Good point, man. That is going on. The pre-sale tickets are only going to go until April 15th. And I want to stress once again that you're going to be coming to Toronto.
Yes.
Toronto. And yeah, and that alone should be reason enough to get all of your YouTube audience just right there at the, let me see, where they have
Toronto Metro Convention Center, bro.
Metro Toronto Convention Center.
Does this guy know how to party or what? That is the place.
There's definitely going to be curls going on in the VIP afterwards, which you're going to.
I'm also going to I feel super special where I get like a kid chair. It's a chance to get intimate, interactive. If any Alan stalkers are watching this right now, the VIP, which is probably sold out by now, is the place to go to like really get close to Alan. And then they bust out a banana right there in person. You're like, whoa, dude. Whoa.
Yeah, things you get crazy, but
I don't know what you thought you paid for when you got here. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave, bro.
Please put that away.
Yeah, put that away. That is not a banana. Yeah, you will rock hard, guys. So that's the education right there. That's the takeaway point. Don't try and turn this into a neat little soundbite. Don't try and turn it black or white. Don't develop orthorexia. And just remember that if it fits your macros, it's a bullshit diet because it's not a diet.
Right. Never meant to be a diet. It is a concept that got spun way out of control, and we're trying to draw it on back in to what it was originally intended to be. I think we did that.
Yeah, and Alan, I'm just saying, it was like a Frankenstein, maybe a Frankenweenie. Okay, it got way out of it was a big time wiener, and you slayed that thing, brought it under control.
We're here to slay wieners, babe.
Yeah, we are wiener. You and I are king wieners right here. Is what we do. End video now. Yeah, we are wieners. Wieners, bro. Wieners.
That was a brutal ending.
That's gonna be we are king wieners. That is the end.
We're here to slay wieners, babe.